very excited to have my next guest join us. They are a bunch of very talented artists, the good folks of Good Neighbours.
Thank you for having
What's
us.
up?
Ollie and Scott, welcome. How are you?
We're good. Welcome to our green room.
Yes. Well, people don't need to know that. This is a
Okay.
lavish studio
Yeah, right.
that we've spared no expense
This
for
is our
Good
back
Neighbours,
room.
AKA your green room.
Yeah.
This is probably one of the more luxurious green rooms.
It is. It's like a little cottage. We've spent a lot more time in here than we have in other ones, that's for sure.
This is the Fox Theater in Oakland, California.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's a lovely venue.
Yeah.
Renovated not very long ago, which is like 15 years ago or something along those lines.
It's so nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
we've only had one night here so far, and it's definitely been one of the better ones we've played.
What about the worst type of green rooms? You may not need to say which venue, but
Sometimes we don't have a green room. Sometimes
Yeah.
we're
Oh,
just
really?
We're curtained off.
we're like doing warm-ups in the toilets in the
Yeah.
stairwell.
really?
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
this in the UK? Because I've heard about this toilet tour.
The toilet tour is a thing.
It
That's where
is.
you earn your stripes, yeah.
Wow.
Sticky floors.
Yeah.
Were you guys ever in cover bands individually or playing cover tunes
Gosh.
in such
Yeah, I was
environments?
in a lot of like wedding bands growing up as well.
Oh, yeah.
That's a horrible place to be.
What type of tunes would you be playing?
Everything.
Yeah?
Anything
Stevie
people
What,
ask
what was
us.
your wheelhouse? What did people hire you for?
I was always more in the like Motown and soul lane
Oh.
growing up.
Oh.
I just love listening to those
So like
tunes.
Temptations, and
Yeah.
Stevie Wonder.
Yeah, all of
Oh,
that.
Wow. And what was your song? Did you sing? Did you? What
I
were-
sung, yeah. What was the one that I hated? I mean, Superstition is like Route 1 function band. That's where you earn your stuff. But yeah, no, it was hard.
That's a funky song to play on keyboard too.
Yeah, true. It's a club one.
Yeah. What about you, Scott?
I think I was more just like folky. I used to do like the pubs and do like your Jack Johnsons. Yeah, the crowd pleasers.
Bookstores and
Yeah, yeah.
cafes and
All
things
of
like
it,
that.
yeah.
Wow, what a mishmash between
Yeah.
you two. Well, you guys were doing your own individual things for quite some time before all this. And, you know, Scott, your love of Vampire Weekend to be so extended to name yourself after one of their songs,
Yeah.
Kwasa, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of really hardcore.
Yeah, it was pretty intense. Yeah.
How much of your individual solo work was inspired by, you know, Vampire Weekend and that era of indie rock?
I think, yeah, that era is just like, for both of us, what we kind of grew up on, like that. I guess we were like between the age of like 14 and 18, where you like, it really soundtracks your like coming of age
Yeah, definitely.
moment. And that whole era is just so nostalgic. And I think we never, like, music now, no one really taps into that era at the moment. So when we're making music and we reference that stuff, it's kind of just like what bonds us together.
Yeah, it hits so hard. Ollie, your individual stuff is a little bit more on the dance side, and you just referenced Stevie Wonder and
Yeah.
Superstition and whatnot. So I take it that some of the sounds that resonated with you are probably more Passion Pit and MGMT.
Yeah, unknowingly. I mean, like, I never even listened to Passion Pit growing up. And then when I started working with Scott, he was like, like, your voice is very similar. And a lot of people have pointed that out for sure. And then I like went into his back catalogue, and it's just amazing and like really inspiring to listen to. But I've always definitely been more like lyric-y and like songwriter-y. So like when I was working with Scott, who came from more of a production background, it was just like a yin-yang experience. And it's really good.
What are the elements of the solo projects that you guys did that you still see that you can pinpoint in what Good Neighbours does?
I'd say like most of the stuff we learned from our solo projects was like more like life experience and like learning the industry and like gigging and how to go about making music that way instead of like the actual
Yeah, definitely.
music.
It pushed us to be more authentic now. I think when we were both starting out, like we were signed pretty quick. And like when you're a soloist and you're signed as a youngster, like you listen to everyone above you and you kind of start creating music for those people, not really knowing where your roots lie. And I think because we literally created this project just for us two, the authenticity shines through because we've never tried with this project. It's just been there between us.
How long were you guys working together before Home, the demo, the whatever few seconds demo was put out into the universe?
Well, we collabed on other people's music for like 3 years maybe.
Yeah, about that, yeah.
But we never made our own music.
That's what I
together.
mean, yeah. So
Probably like the summer before, like we started toying. I guess like we've always worked together and been like, oh, we should make a band. And like every now and then we'd be like, we'd make like a heavy rock track and be like,
Yeah.
that's a band.
Yeah.
I never did anything with it.
Yeah, there's a lot that are on the pile for sure. But probably like a couple months.
Really?
And then Home was like the last thing we wrote, really. And we had all the other songs in demo form and thought, well, this could be an EP. And we sort of sat with that and played a few of those like toilet tour venues with those songs. And then Home came after that in late January and just changed our lives.
Yeah, obviously. So it's like, all right, now being a little older, you kind of are going into this with open eyes as opposed to just saying yes to everything.
Yeah, definitely. I think we've also like, we cut our teeth so early on those like tours with like bigger artists, and it passed us by quite quickly. I mean, talking from my experience as well, like most of those big venues became a blur because I didn't know to take it in because I thought it would last forever. So it's kind of nice that we had that chance snatched away from us, and then this has come about so organically. We're very like, let's be in the moment of like being here and playing the Fox Theatre and realizing how lucky we are.
Yeah.
It's been nice to be like really gracious about how everything's going this time around.
Yeah. I think the listeners and fans can see that.
Sick.
It comes through very genuinely.
Oh, good.
So it's not any type of, no rumors of industry plant here.
Yeah, hopefully. We'd hope so, that's for sure.
Home, obviously, being the big one that resonated with everybody. Why did you put it out into the universe as a demo, not finished, and no other songs?
Yeah, I mean, we honestly weren't thinking about it. It was just like, we had some spare time and we were just like sitting on that demo, and like, yeah, one of our friends was like, we did a gig and he like came to the gig and he was like, you guys are so good.
He's like, you have to do it.
You're idiots for not posting on TikTok. He, like,
But you
he,
should
like,
have
convinced
something
us.
in the well to follow it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We were lucky that like everyone loved the verses. That's what we're really worried about, is like, obviously you can have a good chorus, but as soon as people get past that, they'll stop listening. But then everyone would always comment afterwards being like, oh, like, thank God the verses and the production's good. But it was stressful. It was like 48 hours of pure laptop stress to get that one out.
So then that goes out. Are you rushing back to the studio or going to each other's houses? Like, okay, we gotta, back this up.
Yeah, I mean, then it was just insane. I think like within like half an hour of the clip going viral, we had like people from America like offering us record deals and stuff. So like, it was very silly. And I think we just took a week to take everything in. Like, we were in super early stages with our management at this time as well. All our friends are just sending us like, this person's used it on their thing, this person's used it. Yeah, it was weird, for sure.
It must have been overwhelming and joyful, of course, because now you've hit a moment that you've been trying to achieve for all this time.
Yeah. I think we just found it funny because like we'd spent so many years like really trying to get people to listen to our music, and like it kind of didn't take off, and then the one time we like didn't really care or like think about it.
Stop.
Right.
Everyone was listening.
It must be a very surreal feeling because I'm sure you put your heart and soul into the solo stuff, right? And you even changed your name, from Kwasa to, was it Kaiko?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Not Kaigo, Kaiko.
Yeah, the other one.
Right? So it's like I'm trying different things and seeing what sticks, but I'm glad to hear that you're still sticking true to the roots in the way you're approaching the songwriting and all those aspects.
Yeah, it is funny. It's like, we always say it to each other, like the second you stop envisioning like your audience and what you think they want to hear, the second like the actual magic happens.
Yeah.
Because you're not manufacturing it, you're actually just like bottling up that lightning.
So clearly you guys are taking the ball and running with this. You had a handful of songs with the EP, self-titled EP, and then you just released Ripple,
Yeah.
which is the brand new one this year. And that's kind of a prelude to what's to come. I hear that there's an album in the works.
Yeah. Yeah, so we came out at the beginning of the year because we've been sat on demos all of last year, but we haven't been able to touch them through playing shows for everyone. So we thought we'd just get out of London. So we came out to LA probably at the worst time. It was as the fires were starting. But then we locked ourselves down and just been working for the last like 2 weeks, finishing stuff up, sort of finishing those last percents to send them off to mix. But it feels good. I feel like we've really moved the sound on in a way that keeps people that liked Home in, and then opens the door up to a new crowd. Yeah.
Is this still a Scott and Ollie production, or is this now including other voices and input? And
It's just us, really, at the moment.
It's mostly us, yeah. We're trying to keep it all in-house, but yeah, we're trying to collaborate on a couple of things as well.
oh yeah,
It's our first time opening the door.
Yeah, we're just dipping our toe in
Yeah.
okay.
and seeing how it goes.
Your music obviously speaks to so many people. It speaks to me as well. I wish nothing but the best for you, and thanks a lot for your time.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
man.
Cheers.
Great to meet you.
And you.
Yes, good neighbors right here on
Thank you.
B-Sides.